Well, if you're wanting to make wax slugs, one of the things you're going to definitely need is wax. You're going to need something to heat the wax in. You're going to want to trim your shells however you want. You know, get a box of trimmed shells. If you want to collect your shot, make sure there's no crap in it. You want to bend a spoon because you'll find it's a lot easier to pour this into the shot shells when it's bent. If you'd like, you could try out one of my speed loading grid boards, or you could try out some of this nice burgundy wax, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to demo it in just a minute. Okay, I'm just going to show you how you can do this. I would recommend getting a $15, you know, what they call a fifth element or a fifth burner, you know, a little electric heater, because this wax has to get really hot. Double boiling it isn't going to get it hot. So, drop that sucker in there. And make sure your can's nice and clean. And if you're super careful, you won't get any on the eye of this. And I would recommend not going past about medium. The wax has a very high melting point, but paraffin will also fume and become a vapor. And if you see smoke coming out of that can, the least little spark can make a big explosion. So you don't want it to smoke, but you do want it to get hot enough to totally mix everything together. Well, while I'm waiting for that wax to heat up, I'm going to get my shells and put them in this grid board. I'll just show you how that works. It's pretty simple stuff. Push them into it. This grid board has seen a lot of action. Made a couple hundred rounds using it, so it's been washed and scraped and everything. Still holding up good. Basically, all the tools I make, I try to make sure that they're going to be useful over a period of time. Everything wears out, but there's no sense in something that you just got falling apart. I can see I got some BBs in there. Some shells grip different than others, just by the way they've been trimmed. These ones that get run through my little trimmer, they get kind of like a little tapered edge, which I actually find helps them go into the magazine when you're loading them a little bit easier. And the last one. So, and a few BBs that were in my... It's one thing that will tip off anybody that you've been doing something weird is finding little lead BBs in the kitchen. Alright, so I'll go check on the wax. Here's a tip. Once you put your spoon in the can and start stirring, leave the spoon in the can. Every time you take the spoon out, it's going to want to drip. Your whole house is going to smell like burning paraffin. Keep all the paraffin in the can. Pick the can up. Move the can away from the heat. Do anything you want, but don't do stuff over the heat. For instance, right now, that's completely liquid. I've stirred it a few times. I'm going to come over here, put it down on this piece of paper for just a second. Hold it over the paper, really, and I'm going to pour some shot into it. And I don't want to do that over the stove. I'm going to put a lot in, make it easy on myself, so it's easy for me to scoop the shot. I don't know how much I put in, I just put in a lot. I'm always trimming shells, always have a lot of shot. You want to make sure you have plenty of wax up at the top. Okay, now you're going to want to let your shot heat. Okay, don't just start pouring now. Let the shot get up to temperature. Okay, you're going to find that the shot makes the wax get hot faster, and you'll start to see it smoke just a little bit. That's the time to take it off. Put it over here. It's not going to be terribly hot, but I like to use a coaster. Now let me see if I can just capture the action without totally blocking it. But you're basically just trying to scoop up shot. Now this is just one puck. Okay, so we're going to see how far one puck goes. I'm telling you, we're going to have plenty. Trying to get to an angle where I won't totally block everything, won't make a giant mess. But you want to include wax with your shot. It's clear when you're pouring it, so you can really see what you're doing. You can see how much shot, how much wax you're putting in. And get it just the way you want. Because it's transparent, it's easy to see through, unlike crayon wax where everything's kind of hidden in it. That's that titanium dioxide, which is blocking your view. And see, the reason I'm tilting the can is so I can control how much shot I'm getting. So if I put too much wax, it's easy just to fill it up with shot and let it run over. No big deal. And because the shot is so blazing hot, the shot is super blazing hot. So it lets the wax melt right around it. The wax is nice and liquidy. And you can also tilt it just to get wax. You just want to pour some wax in there. So I think you're getting the idea. I don't want to bore you with a huge thing, but that's the deal, okay? I'm going to keep going and stop talking. And this thing is kind of hot down at the bottom, but I get a better grip down at the bottom. So here we go. Just going to blaze along. You can see the wax stays hot for a really, really long time. Once you get it up to temperature, the shot's actually helping it stay there. I'm not sure if I put enough shot in here to do the whole load or not. It's looking dubious. I'm scraping. Let's see how much shot I can get in these last ones here. Yeah, I got enough. I was just a little worried. I'm definitely hitting bottom now. Okay. Needed more shot. Could have had a little bit, just a little bit more shot in there. But since this demonstration is basically to show you that you can fill 25 with a puck, and you can see the shot obviously takes up volume. So by me running out of shot and still being able to fill all these holes, that's a pretty good indication that there's a little extra wax in each load. Each one's about 2.7 something, 2.8 ounces, which is how much you need to do it. Now, I wouldn't have needed quite this much wax if I had had enough shot. But yeah, I did several repeated tests before I bothered, showing you guys to make sure that my product was what I said it was. Each puck does 25. This is the burgundy. Pretty neat looking stuff, really. You can see that once it dries, it's very close to the hull color. And I'll show you what these look like later. I've got a scoot. I've got other things to do, but I thought you guys would find this entertaining.